G'day, you beautiful bastards. Welcome to another evening of Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. As always, my name is Dylan, and with my co-host,
Mitchell, and this week we're wondering, what film, TV, or game gave you nightmares as a child?
Let us know down below. Let's go.
Spooky.
I always come back with an welcome back, but I've said that before, so hello everybody who is with us live this evening over on twitch.tv/2C3pod, but also hello to those listening to this retrospectively on your favourite podcast platforms. But
absolutely, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. I was about to go into socials, I was like, well, we're not quite there yet, but while we're here, perfect segue.
Oh my gosh, well, are we talking socials?
Yeah, we are.
Socials, that's right. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, of course, 2C3pod, simple as that. And we will let you know what our question of the week is, and not only that, we will also tell you when we're going to go live.
That's right. We might tell you we're going to go live tomorrow. We might tell you we're going to go live tonight. Either way, you'll be well prepared.
We completely forgot that we changed our schedules to be 2 Wednesdays and 2 Tuesdays every month to make it easier on ourselves, and then we got to the third Tuesday and went, we're not supposed to be on tonight.
That's right. Even though we both posted at the same time separately without communication that we were going to be on tonight. Yesterday. But anyway, yes, we're here now, and like it's good that we're starting this a little bit earlier, because if we did this last night, we'd be running into like 1 in the morning.
Exactly, that's right. And you can't have that during a work week, Dylan.
Not during a school night. No, absolutely.
That's right. Get to bed. Big dog's already yawned.
That's
you
right.
Motherfuckers.
Anyway, how are you all this evening? Please let us know down below, and also get pumping with the chat. Let us know what film, TV show, or game gave you nightmares or genuinely scared you as a kid. We've got a short list of our own, but we would like to know what yours are. But we've also got a bunch of news as well if things start to run a little dry. Yeah,
we'll see what happens. But before that, let's get our homework out of the way, Dylan.
Absolutely.
Let's get our homework out of the way, of course. We've already mentioned the social medias.
That's right.
Have we mentioned the podcast, which you may or may not be listening to on all your favourite platforms, including Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube.
Big summer blowout. But also, if you're one of the weird people out there, but also legends who somehow listen to podcasts on a completely different platform, we're on literally everything. And I will encourage you to go out there and look for 2C3pod on a podcast platform and not find us.
That's
because there are many out there.
We challenge you.
Yeah,
and you tell us which one you didn't find us on.
That's right.
We'll give them a little bit of this.
A little bit of fisticuffs. Yeah, we'll give them a knuckle sandwich.
Exactly, a knuckle. Hope they're hungry.
Yes,
no, of course. But not only that, of course, we do have Patreon for those fucking legends out there who support us on there. I always get aggressively happy with that because they are truly the best people.
Legends.
They are the best kind of people, and they get exclusive content every single week, of course. They get early access to the episodes, even though you get them early here live on twitch.tv/2C3pod live.
That's right, but you also get bonus content and all that.
Bonus
as well.
content, automatic entry to giveaways, and of course a shout out at the end, and you know who you are, and we're going to thank you at the end.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, getting straight into the chat while we're here to kick off the episode.
Merch.
Oh, we do have merch.
Redbubble and public.com. So
absolutely.
It's 2C3pod, and there we are.
That's
Get yourself
right,
a lovely coffee mug.
You can certainly do all of that, and also head to Teespring as well. We do have that webpage, which is now live, of course. But I'm going to keep them all open. You can get whatever you want from each different platform.
Yes,
that's perfectly fine.
I was not aware of that, so you're learning when I'm learning, ladies and gentlemen, you exclusive people.
That's right. If you are on Twitch and you want to head to that Teespring merch page, you can certainly go to our About tab.
Of course.
On Twitch, it's right there. You can just click straight through and get yourself a t-shirt if
Absolutely,
you want.
that's
we would greatly appreciate it. It certainly helps keep the lights on around here.
Jumping into a bit of the chat, of course, we wanted to shout out and say hello to our regulars that we've got coming in here. We've got El Weebino, Captain Killtoy, of course.
Absolutely.
Lovely to see some familiar faces in there.
Absolutely. And do we have any so far in terms of what's given them nightmares?
Elle says that she gave herself nightmares.
Oh, no.
We've all been there, that's for sure.
That's right. But first one off the cap of the rank, Killtoy with Dawn of the Dead kept me up for 2 weeks when I was too young. So, you're probably too young to be watching Dawn of the Dead.
Exactly, but we didn't clarify that it had to be a kid's show or anything like that. So, we will accept that. And I completely understand why you would say that. That is definitely one that would keep any child awake for days.
Well, I've definitely, the ones like when we were talking about, what question to ask this week and what thing that, gave us nightmares as kids, all I can think of is the things that actually gave me nightmares. I probably shouldn't have watched those things as a kid.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I did because I love them now.
No, exactly. That's right. And the same thing happened to me as well. And I think I've explained this story on the podcast before, but I'll refresh the new listeners that we have.
Yeah.
I remember one night I got sent to bed. I had a little tiny shitty TV with the fucking dials on there as well. And the pull out and the push it. Well,
did you have to bash it to get the certain channel right sometimes?
It had the tubes that would light up, like that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. And it was old school and that. And I had it on mute mute, had the volume, had it on mute. I turned the dial all the way down, of course, exactly. Yeah. And I was flicking through the channels, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, doing because all
because there was
that.
only like 9 channels at the time.
Not
5.
Even
5? Yeah.
There was 5. There was ABC, SBS, Channel 10, 9, and 7. That's it. That was it. That was it.
But if you went for Channel 9, it was usually tuned to like 1 or 2.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly. So I was flicking through them, and I got to about the 3rd one, and then all of a sudden, his face showed up.
Oh, you're kidding.
We're talking about Pinhead right here, tattooed on me. Face showed up, and I was like, "Bah!" and just bashed it off. Oh, and for years, I had no idea what it was or where it came from, and I just had that fucking face in my mind for so many years. And then I found Hellraiser and realized it was Pinhead. Yeah. And lo and behold, a love affair was born.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you end up finding out which one it was that you tuned into that night?
No, I have no idea, but it would have been one of the 3, not ABC or SBS. It would have been one of the other 3. It was maybe 10 o'clock at night, and I just turned it over.
No, what I mean was which movie, which Hellraiser movie was it? Oh,
God, no. I just saw the face and went, and just smashed the TV, essentially. Yeah, and tried to go to sleep. Yeah.
I have a similar story, but it didn't give me nightmares. I remember, back when we used to tape things on video cassette tape, right? Like, when your favorite movie would come on and you wanted to tape it, it was weird. Like shops openly sold ways to pirate shit. Now I think about it.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, back in the day of stealing movies, now I think about it more often, is that, you would tape over your favourite movies or your TV shows so you could watch them later. With movies, you'd keep them forever.
Yep.
I remember at the very end of The Santa Claus, we had it on VHS and we watched it every year.
Yeah.
At the end of a tape where it goes to white noise and it's just shh, I was like, one day I had an experiment. What happens after this?
Oh, God.
So I just let it play out.
Yep.
And I can never... for the life of me, this far in, I've not been able to find this movie, but I remember it may have been 10 minutes later.
Okay.
The thing started to fade. I was like, oh, what is this? What is this?
Yeah.
And it must have been like an action movie or maybe a horror movie because there was a guy in the middle of a street at nighttime. It looked like a random New York street, whatever, empty street, wet pavements.
Yeah.
And he just had blood streaming down his face. His arm was missing and it was all over his shirt. So whatever they had taped over was some horrific fucking violent movie.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it was taped over by the Santa Claus. And I was like, oh my God, I can't remember how old I was, maybe 8 or 9.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I would love to know.
I would, there's no, I don't remember enough of it to one day see the film and go, that was it.
I've told you about that one movie that has driven me insane for about 20 years, right? Yeah. No, but there's that one fucking movie and I cannot fucking figure out what it is. Yeah. I just know it was hostages. I know there was chicks in bikinis in Malibu in the house. I don't know.
Cabin Fever?
No. It was like a thriller movie that I saw on TV, and I'm like, what? I was watching it, and I'm like, I don't understand this, but it was kind of intense and stuff like that. And I've just got this vivid memory of multiple scenes of it, and I just have no idea what the fuck it is. And it's 20 years later. I've Googled as in hostage situation in Malibu or in California or something like that, and chick in a bikini and an angry white dude, shit like that. I've Googled so much and I cannot find the fucking film.
Damn.
But, yeah, I'm sure we've all got ones like that.
From last week's topic of favourite TV shows as a kid, I've got plenty of them that I just cannot remember the name of, but I remember them visually because I've got a photographic memory. I can remember what they look like, but there's no chance of me finding out. And I've tried Googling them and ABC kids shows at 4 p.m. from 1989 to 2004, and I've gone through them all.
Yeah.
I've only been able to manage to find one that I haven't actively remembered, and that was last week. We talked about Shadow Raiders, that really crummy 3D animated one.
I remember it from last week, but...
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah. But that was one that I had in my memory for many years and I couldn't find it. But there's another one I won't even go into because it's not happening.
Elle, you better not be teasing me right now.
Carly is in the house.
But what is Elle talking about there, saying she knows what I'm talking about?
The movie that's been plaguing your mind?
Don't you tease me with revealing the 20-year secret that I've kept from myself.
Don't worry. She'll pull it out.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, the Ocarina of Time when he goes to the graveyard with all the zombies. Gnarly, I am absolutely 100% agreeance with that. As a kid playing Ocarina of Time, that game can be terrifying, but not only that, but when you're walking, Burnsy, welcome in, my dude, welcome aboard.
Hey, Burnsy.
Walking through the open field of Hyrule at nighttime, and as a child character, Link, and then those zombie dogs just come out of the ground. that in itself terrified me, but I do know what you're talking about, Carly, when you go to the graveyard and there's literally zombies that go, and they jump on your back and suck your blood or some shit.
Right.
As a kid, that game came out in 1998, I believe, alongside many other great video games, but god damn it.
Are those the zombie type creatures you're talking about?
Show me further. No, that dude is the graveyard owner. He's actually super cool.
He's cool.
But then you go into a tomb. You go into an actual tomb where there's like bones and things. And they make some real horrible noises. I can't remember what they called, but god damn it, they are terrifying.
Yeah, and I can imagine.
Even to this day, I've got this nostalgic fear about them. When I watch them or play against them, I'm like, you know? It's stuck with me.
I haven't experienced it because I haven't played much Zelda, but given the time frame and that and the ages that we all would have been, that's definitely one that I can imagine being kept up at night. That's right.
And there's something about those old school horror games or just games in general that had horror themes like that it might have just been because I grew up playing those games at the time, but I play horror games now, and because everything is trying to be super realistic, there's something I find, I'm not sure if I'm the only person out here, but there's something that I find a hell of a lot more violent and terrifying with those old school graphics. There's just something so much more visceral about them, even though they don't look anywhere near as real. I think it's because of the uncanniness of them. It terrifies me more so.
No, and I feel like now we're so used to things being so well done and so realistic that it almost becomes unrealistic. You know, like that kind of thing. But something like that, it's something that we don't see in the real world.
That's
kind
what
of
I'm saying.
thing,
It plays with your imagination.
No, absolutely. Burnsy jumping in there saying Jeepers Creepers did it for him as a kid.
Jeepers Creepers was one I got around to. I think I was a bit too late. I remember watching the first Jeepers Creepers. I was about 11 years old, and by then I think it was a bit like, I remember watching one of the Jeepers Creepers where they're in a school bus, and I remember he comes through the middle of the school bus and takes a kid's head, and he's like flailing around headless, and my brother was like, oh my god, and I'm like, that looks dumb. But I was 11, and I don't know.
You didn't understand how terrifying that actually was.
Well, I think that's the thing, like
poor Justin Long.
Everybody's got the things that they're afraid of, and like in those certain movies, I know my brother, for example, he's like, obviously, as a kid, he was squeamish with people getting their heads cut off. I mean, it's a terrifying thing.
Of course.
But in a movie, I'm like, you know. Yeah, no, but I've got a bunch of other games I could mention right now, but do we have any more in chat here?
No, well, I think Burns is completely correct there, saying that he was a little bit too young to be watching that, given, like I said, our ages, that's for sure.
Well, that's right.
Coming out in 2001, so 20 years this year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, do you have any others before I can rip into a few of mine?
I did have another one that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember, but I think we will get into that when I remember it. That makes sense, honestly.
We'll talk about that one later in the episode. But another one that really stuck with me for a long time, and I remember the type of dream that I had, the type of nightmare stuck with me for years. You know how sometimes nightmares play on repeat?
Yes.
Did anybody watch the kind of crappy science fiction show Farscape?
Farscape? No.
It wasn't like a Star Trek knockoff, but it was kind of like a spacey science fiction thing with live action puppetry.
Okay. I just remember my other one. Yep.
Okay. Yep. But yeah, there was particular characters in Farscape. Like when you watch the show, it's not scary, and I'm pretty sure it's half made for kids. Like kids can watch it.
Yeah.
But like there was just scenes in that show that did give me nightmares of certain characters doing certain things, and it stuck with me for a long time, and I can vividly remember what that nightmare looked like.
Well, there's a couple still images here, that one and this one here as well.
Yeah,
I mean, if I was
moments.
8, I would poop my pants.
Yeah, there's some creepy moments in it. Yeah.
No, why did you have to wait for the but, before we jump right into there, I did just want to say, Elle, you are the devil. She says that she thinks she knows what it is, but she's not going to tell me.
Yeah, maybe.
So, I mean, you're the devil, but also thank you, because I want to keep the mystery alive.
Yeah.
The other one that I wanted to mention was, I believe it's called The League of Gentlemen.
Oh, The Extraordinary Legion.
No. I'm not talking the Sean Connery film. I love that movie. There was a British TV show, and I'm going to try and find it, called The League of Gentlemen, I believe it was.
Okay.
And there was a particular character, the League of Gentlemen. No. Oh my God, now I don't know what that is. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is that show? All right. Okay. Yeah, there was a British TV show, and I think it was like a sketch show, but it was more for adults.
Okay.
And there was a particular character that had a black and white face, and I remember it vividly, and like chained to a bed, and they were like trying to feed it, and it was like, nah!
Oh Jesus!
And it mortified me as a child, and it was late night on ABC.
It was most likely like an adult sketch comedy, but because of the context and you as a kid not understanding it, it probably terrified you.
100%. I'm sure it was a comedy as well, but it fucked with me so bad seeing that face, and I saw that fucking face, not in nightmares, because I don't dream much. I'm not one of those people who has vivid dreams or anything, but I remember closing my eyes and seeing that fucking face for weeks on end. And it just scarred me, and I'm like, I'll never watch this show. It's terrible. And it was probably one of the funniest shows ever, but to me, it was fucking frightening.
25 years later, you're like, oh, I wish I knew what it was called.
No, exactly. That's right. That's what's happening right now. I don't understand.
Another one that really scarred me as a kid, and this is the sequel to a film, the first movie that I ever got to watch that was MA rated.
Oh, okay.
Or essentially R in America. Is, hey, Beth, welcome in. I see you there. Starship Troopers.
Yes.
I got to watch that movie, and that in itself has some horrifying themes in it, and it can be considered scary for some, but I loved it as a kid. Yeah. It was action-packed, it was bombastic, it was beautifully shot, it was a great film, but the sequel to it, Starship Troopers 2, was like a wasn't a knockoff, but it was definitely a lower budget sequel.
Okay.
And there was a particular type of bug in that movie that like infected you, like it crawled into your system and like took over your body.
Yeah.
And there was this one particular character which was disintegrating over time. And there was a particular scene in the movie where one of the villain characters pulls this other disintegrating character out of like a closet, holds him up like a puppet, and he's like, hello, and says whatever. And then as a kid, I remember my parents were watching this, right? I wasn't supposed to be watching this. I was supposed to be in bed, but I used to like sit in the hallway with just enough room to see what they were watching on TV. And every time they would like check, I'd be like, out of the corner.
Yeah. How many times did you get busted?
Like a lot. I used to get busted a lot.
Yeah.
But there was a particular moment in Starship Troopers 2 where the villain character holds this body and just grabs him by the jaw, rips his jaw off, and those bugs just come pouring out of it. And they start attacking the crew. And as a kid, I was like,
oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, but
scarred me for life, but I love it.
I can remember sneaking around to the lounge room as well, and Dad would be half asleep on his recliner, and I'd just be behind the lounge kind of thing, because I could be there and look around here. Yeah. And then there was the back of the lounge, and his recliner was here, so he wouldn't see me sneak out of my room on my belly.
Yeah.
Come around, and then I'd be sitting at the front just watching what he's doing. Most of the time, it was just like poker or something, and I'm like, fuck, you're boring. But I was right. It is called The League of Gentlemen. It was a British TV series that ran for 3 years from 1999 to 2001, 22 episodes. Now, I looked it up, and there was these two comedians who did the show. So it was a sketch comedy, but it was an adult sketch comedy. Yep. Now, look at these dudes with the makeup and stuff, and how gross and disgusting they look, and how... so it was like... So terrifying. I found the black and white face one. Yep. That motherfucker.
I was expecting something completely different. That reminds me of the Babadook.
Yeah, that reminds me of racism and blackface.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. But that dude, I don't know what type of character it was, but I'm honestly scared to YouTube any clips of it because I saw that and got shivers.
It's funny you mentioned that about...
look at him. Look at it.
Okay, I see how you would have been scared by that as a kid.
I would have been like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
No.
And like talking about like things that is like children that scared you as actual kids shows. I've got one similar to that, which wasn't intentionally scary, but it kind of was. Yeah. But as a kid, and I'm pretty sure we've talked about this in the past. Yeah. The scene in The Simpsons, Mr. Burns, he shoots up over Friday night. I bring you love.
Oh, yes.
We borrowed that particular episode from the video store. And my brother wanted to watch it over and over because he loved it, because it was like a science fiction. It had Leonard Nimoy, it had X-Files themes.
Of course, exactly.
But the theme song, the X-Files theme song plays.
The X-Fox theme?
X-Fox theme song? Yeah. The X-Files theme song plays. And as a kid, that theme song and the visuals of Mr. Burns terrified the living shit out of me.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
I still can't watch it to this day. You know, without going like, remembering how scared I was of that Burns. I was saying Boo Burns. But that was that movie where they said, he brings you love, kill him, or whatever. But god damn it.
Oh,
Gremlins.
That's fantastic.
Gremlins is
Gremlins in the chat. Yeah. Gremlins is one that I remember. The only memory I have of Gremlins as a child, because I did see it as a child when I went for a sleepover at my friend Sam Cohen's house when I was about 10.
Shout out to Sam.
Yeah, exactly. I know you. I don't even have him on any socials. You know how you had old school friends and stuff? Nothing. No. Anyway, but I stayed at his house and I was probably about 10 or something like that. The only fucking memory I have from that didn't terrify me or anything like that, but I remember there was a slumber party scene and there was 6 chicks with their tits out. I know. I know, just randomly.
Typical horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's a typical 80s horror movie, one of those
I
ones.
wouldn't say that. I mean, there's a lot of dumb horror. Like, I mean, what's it called? Freddy vs. Jason. That was like 2005.
Yep.
That's got gratuitous titty scenes for no reason.
No, exactly. And I think that was a stereotype for a lot of horror films, basically, that was like almost,
from the 80s.
we need the titty shot, for the first, the last, 30 years kind of thing.
Because people aren't going to watch this for any other reason.
No, exactly. They don't watch for the violence.
Yeah.
Come on.
Or for the crazy characters. Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Do you have any others?
No, I'm just still stuck on the League of Gentlemen, and it's terrifying. That black and white face. That's going to give me nightmares.
Bethy D in chat here's got a very funny one. The little bears from Star Wars. The Ewoks.
The little bears.
The little bears from Star Wars.
Ewoks. I totally understand that.
You think about that, those motherfuckers were taking out trained soldiers, man.
Oh, yeah.
They were tipping over tanks. They were blowing shit up. They were stabbing people. But the noises
they made as well.
I don't remember the noises.
Oh, but I remember it being like a squeaky, as in...
Probably, yeah. If you heard that shit looking over your bed of a nighttime, you would shit yourself.
Oh, yeah, and especially the fact that they're 2.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
They
will bite your legs off.
Yeah, no, exactly. They'll nibble your ankles.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so the little bears from Star Wars, knowing how dangerous and deadly those fucking things can be, although stormtroopers themselves are pretty stupid to begin with, they're not very efficient, so they could be taken out by literally the smallest of rubber bands. Yeah. But little bears could stab them and kill them and God eat them, probably roasted them over a big fire, a big pit. Yeah. That's what they would have done.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Another one that really terrified me as a kid as well, and this one I wouldn't say it terrifies me anymore, but I understand the context a lot better, and it turns out to be my favorite thing of the particular series. Yeah. Welcome in JTWS222015. I see you in there. Star Trek. Yeah. I watched a shitload of Star Trek as a kid, and there's a particular...
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of fucked up things in it, but overall it's about science and discovery and discovering new worlds, and there's a lot of wanky bullshit in it. But anybody out there who's watched any Star Trek of any capacity will know what I'm talking about when I say the Borg.
The Borg.
I've talked about
familiar
this.
To me. Yeah.
I've talked about this in the podcast before. If you Google the Borg, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I will.
It's a race of cybernetic alien beings.
They're not the freaky forehead people, are they?
No, that's the Klingon.
Okay, okay, all right.
No. Freaky. I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly, the rigidy forehead.
Yeah, the Borg are essentially a cybernetic alien race which assimilates other races into them. And there's movies about this where they're literally taking their arms off, replacing them with robotic parts, and they go all green and gross and fucking disgusting. Yeah. It's fucking pure nightmare fuel. And I've been waiting a very long time for them to have another live action movie. The last live action theatrical release of the Borg was Star Trek First Contact. Okay. Patrick Stewart, I think it was.
I was going to say, I can see Patrick Stewart as a Borg.
That was one of the very earliest episodes of the Borg, and it was fantastic. But that movie, as I said earlier in the podcast 2 years ago, even if you're not a Star Trek fan, if you like good science fiction mixed with horror elements, watch that movie. You don't have to know anything else. Yeah. Just watch that movie.
I'd be down for that.
It's fucking horrifying and it's great.
Yeah. I'm also a little bit creeped out by this dude who has two tones on his face right there. He's normally very pale, isn't he?
Yes, but that's an episode where he's becoming assimilated to the Borg, essentially, and he goes all evil.
Okay, yeah. And the Borg Queen looks fucking terrifying.
And she's played by the same lady who's terrifying in everything, and I'm trying to think of her name. She was
There's the scariest Borg.
Donald Trump, But if you look up the casting of her, she plays the villain. She was in...
Do you remember which Star Trek it was?
That's called First Contact.
First Contact. Okay.
Yeah, so if you look her up, she was also the villain in the Silent Hill live-action adaptation, and she's also been in various other things. If you bring up her name, I might be able to remember others, but she's always the villain, and she plays that role to a T. And there was a long time where she was in a lot of film, a lot of theatrical film, where she played the villain, and it was absolutely magnificent. And I've got a few others to rattle off, but we've got no more in chat. If anybody could let us know what terrified them as kids, doesn't have to be kids shows, just things you probably shouldn't have watched as kids.
Alice Craigie.
Yes, Craigie. That's right. If you look at her resume, she's played pretty much the villain in just about everything she's been in.
You mentioned Silent Hill.
Silent Hill.
Yeah. Thor: The Dark World.
Yes, of course, she was in that.
Yeah, no.
Although I don't think she was a villain in that. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, but either way, she's very very, very veteran actress. So this IMDb keeps going. Yeah,
for sure. But yeah,
she's creepy as fuck. So I can understand you being scared of the Borg in that.
Yes, absolutely. Just the Borg in general. And there was a great video game about that as well. But I know. Here we go. Bethy D. Chucky from Rugrats was in my nightmares quite often. The crazy orange, crazy hair.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rugrats, this is one thing that we missed out on the news last week. Have you seen the new trailer?
No.
There's a Rugrats Revival. The original cast is coming back.
Really?
It's full 3D animated.
What, are they grown-ups again?
Nope. They're kids. They're babies.
Awesome. They're not going to... Did you watch any of that Rugrats grown up?
No.
That's terrible.
I don't think I did. Wasn't interested.
It was terrible.
I wasn't a grown-up. I didn't care.
The appeal of the show was the fact that they were toddlers and babies and that kind of thing, you know? And then they're like, no, they're teenagers now with teenage problems. And it's like, I don't want
teenage
that.
Problems are terrible.
I don't want that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got acne. Oh, no. Like, no, I want to know about pooping in the diaper. That's and breaking out of baby cribs and stuff like that, you know?
That's right. That's funny. And when they go to Paris somehow and they drive a dinosaur, whatever, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
But yeah, those who are interested in Rugrats, those who are the 90s and, or I suppose 80s babies, interested in Rugrats, the Revival. And I posted on Twitter saying, I hope they know that their prime audience is like people of age between 25 and 31.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. But I'm down.
I watched the trailer and there's a lot of people commenting going, it looks terrible, blah, 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 blah. The same argument you would have with Bananas in Pajamas.
Yeah, exactly.
But I watched it and go, you know what? That actually looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
It's unique, it's interesting, and it's the same voice actors. That's all I ask.
No, exactly. That's right. The fact that they could keep true to it like that, that's for sure. But
yes, you're right, Bethy D. Tommy still has no hair and no teeth either. And that's probably what's weird about it. But he's a baby.
No, exactly. That's right. I mean, why is Bart Simpson still, 8? 10?
Yeah, that's right. And how come
for 30 years?
And how come Lisa and Bart still retain their really weird hairstyles, considering every other Simpsons character, namely apart from Homer, has an actual hairstyle animated?
Well, I mean, Homer does actually have hair. He's just
a little. That's what I'm saying.
He's just a bald dude. Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly right. But that's the beauty of animation, I guess, and the fact that you don't need that continuity.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
JTWS in chat says, that's odd. Mine was Ernie from Sesame Street.
Oh.
Ernie terrified you as a kid?
Ernie. Not Bert?
Yeah.
Bert was the angry one.
Bert, because he had a big
Ernie
cone
was
head.
friendly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, Ernie was just incredibly homosexual, but Bert, like, he could...
they both were.
Oh, yeah, but like, Bert
buddies.
would like... Well, that's the thing. Like, Ernie would buy you a nice dinner and probably, read you a book to bed, as well. Ernie would literally peg you and be laughing the whole way through.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's some questionable antics that he's had over the years, that's for sure. Yeah, no, but Sesame Street as a whole, I can totally understand why that would have given so many people a fear of puppets.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely, that would be a trigger for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that when you watch it, you either are like, oh, colourful characters in that, or you're like,
Oscar the Grouch is terrifying, and I'm now scared of garbage bins.
That's exactly right. But yeah, not only that, the mammoth as well. You remember the mammoth with the huge fucking eyes?
What about Big Bird? That's fucking terrible. That's like a 7-foot fucking bird.
Yeah, like, Big Bird was terrible. Oh, man, I'd even say 8 or 9 foot. He was monstrous.
Cassowaries here in Australia would kick the shit out of you, but Big Bird would literally fly away and feed you to its children.
No. Big Bird has the capabilities to actually hold you and restrain you and do things to you that you do not want to be done.
Like getting pegged.
Cassowary is just like, bonk, you're dead. Like on the head. Yeah, exactly. Big Bird has the chance to and talk to you as well and whisper sweet nothings. I'm gonna rape you now. Ugh. Yeah, none of that.
No good. Yeah. Anyway, do you have any others?
No. I think I've run through a few of my nightmare fuel. Yeah.
Well, I've got one more I could go through, but in saying that, everybody who's watched my streams, we've talked about it before 100 times. Yep. It's something that terrified me as a kid.
Socials. I forgot to check socials.
Oh, we do have a few on social media. Well, while you're doing that, I'll talk about mine very briefly. And those who know me, of course, it was fucking Doom.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. The story behind that is, it wasn't so much the game or the movie or anything that gave me nightmares. It was reading the magazine from the library for the first time.
Yeah, right.
This is how I discovered it. I borrowed a video game magazine from our local library one evening after, we used to go to the library and Mum and my brother used to borrow books. Yeah. I borrowed dumb magazines like Mad magazines, video game magazines, and music.
Yeah, yep.
And I borrowed a video game magazine one day, and one of the articles said, "Get your ass to Mars." And it had screenshots from Doom 3 at the time and descriptions of it. And I remember sitting down in the living room reading this magazine. Dad told me I had to put it down and go to bed because I was shaking reading the magazine. And it all kicked off from there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. I love that.
And I had nightmares, genuine nightmares, until I got a bit older, started playing it. They all went away, obviously. But that's where it began. I read it in a magazine and I was like,
that's fantastic.
This fucking magazine article is making me shake.
That's crazy, especially
Terrifying.
being in like print format as well. Like you didn't actually see any sound, like hear any sounds or see any visuals. You just saw a still image and you were like,
and read the description of what I was after.
Yeah, of course.
So it really affected me and it was awesome. But I would have been maybe 10, 9 or 10 because it was promotional material leading up to the release.
Yeah.
Wow, these pretzels are making me thirsty.
Are they?
Says JTWS.
Oh, what? Are you talking about Seinfeld?
Oh, they're talking about that could be an old friend of ours, perhaps.
Oh, these pretzels are making... Oh, my God. Really?
Maybe. Yeah.
Potentially?
Potentially?
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah.
Let us know if like that could just be
maybe they want a recommendation?
maybe they could have a recommendation. Or they could
they're
just
like Seinfeld.
just like Seinfeld. Yeah, that's right.
Either. But either way.
Or Burnsy's all over it. Burnsy's all over it. Possibly. We'll let them decide.
We don't know. Exactly.
But,
all right, checking social media, we did have Facebook, 2C3 Pod, search it up.
Check us out.
Darcy, of course, one of our regulars popped in and he mentioned Madame Medusa from The Rescuers.
I didn't know what he talked about, but you responded and he posted a GIF or an image.
Exactly, that's right. This one here, this
totally get it.
Creepy look. Oh, yeah, no, that definitely creeps me out. And it also made me think of another one, Little Mermaid.
Oh,
that octopus.
Ursula?
Yeah, Ursula.
Yeah.
She is frightening.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
We do have a little bit of news about that later on, but yeah.
Ooh, yeah, if we get to it. She was terrifying. So, yeah, that's one that I can totally see why that would be a trigger for somebody like that.
Yeah.
And there's so many things like that, especially in Disney cartoons.
They're
where
terrifying.
There's those creepy characters. Also, I posted on the social media picture, there was a picture of Coraline. You remember that?
Coraline was a movie that I did see, but I had to deliberately buy it a number of years ago just because I was fascinated, but I never watched it as a kid. And I was watching it as like a 25-year-old male going like, this is magnificent. It's terrifying. And how the fuck could any child watch this and not be utterly scarred for life?
Oh, yeah.
As an adult,
absolutely.
that movie is gut-wrenching and mind-boggling and amazing, and I love it.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
No, it really is.
I talked about it last week how much I love claymation.
Yeah.
Coraline, mwah, chef's kiss, for, like cinematic.
Oh,
is that Tim Burton or is it someone
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. No, because I remember going to actually with recommended Pretzels Thirsty, that person that we think it might be. I went to Melbourne to see a Tim Burton exhibition.
exhibition?
Exhibition. Exhibition, and there was nothing to do with Coraline there. No. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, because Coraline is full animation, I think.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's not really Tim Burton's cup of tea.
Tim Burton did The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, stop motion.
Oh.
Is Coraline stop motion?
It looks stop motion. I thought it was stop motion.
Yeah, I'm going to find that out right now.
It might have mixed elements. But,
exactly.
Yeah, Coraline is definitely up there. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, yeah, the buttons, man. The buttons for the eyes.
And then it turns out to be like they're the actual people, but they've been kidnapped by this creepy spider woman. God damn it.
Yeah, nothing to do with Tim Burton, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Henry Selick was the writer and director of that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to look him up right now.
I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure the director, whoever they may be, Henry, what's his face, has done other things similar to Coraline.
Oh, he actually was the director of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right. Well, there you go. So I knew there was similarities there, but I thought that was a Tim Burton
James
film.
and the Giant Peach. Yeah, no.
Wait, what? James and the Giant Peach?
Yeah, he's the director of that.
That dude's done like a lot of my favourite movies.
There you go. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, no, it is.
That's another one that's also oddly terrifying.
It is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, he wrote it and the characters and stuff like that, of course. Yeah.
James and the Giant Peach. Dude, that movie's fucked up, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time, but what I remember, he crawls into a peach and then he becomes a claymation character and then there's all the bugs and, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, very, very strange. He hasn't done many more films other than that.
Well,
he did Monkey Bone, which I believe is with Brendan Fraser, if I'm not mistaken.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Everybody talks shit about it like it's it's a bad movie. That movie is majestic. I love it.
Honestly, we've mentioned him so many times before, but fucking Brendan Fraser.
Oh man,
he's a stud of Hollywood, and unfortunately just got blacklisted for like several years.
For horrible reasons,
disgusting reasons, but nothing not his fault.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
You almost like you watch him in interviews
sucks.
and you just, It
fucking sucks because you go back and watch his resume. Like, you had the Mummy films, of course, then you had Bedazzled as well. Like, I love him from Encino Man, his feature film debut. Monkey Bone, of
George
course.
of the Jungle.
George of the fucking Jungle. Like, he was a megastar.
Well, the weird thing about those movies is that like, we have fond memories of them because we watched them as kids and they were crazy and silly and weird and whatever else.
Yeah.
But box office success-wise, like, he was the lead actor in, like, one of the biggest franchises, The Mummy, at the time. But I don't think the success of that film was entirely his doing. Because there's other films that he was the lead actor of that were either semi-successful or tanked.
Yeah.
But in saying that, people enjoyed his work. They
Dudley
enjoyed
Do-Right. Do you remember that one?
No. Oh, maybe.
He's like a Canadian Mountie sitting backwards on a horse, going like this, like on the cover.
Nope.
No? Okay.
There was another one that he played. He was in a band with Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler was the drummer, and I'm pretty sure it was
Airheads.
Airheads. That was a great movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Steve Buscemi? Was it Steve Buscemi?
Yeah. Buscemi was in it back when he kind of could pull off being young.
Yeah. How do you do, fellow kids? Yeah, I remember, like, but that's the thing, like, we've seen a bit of a revival with Brendan Fraser. He's come out and explained exactly what's happened, but you watch his interviews and you can tell he's a broken man. He talks very softly and somberly.
Oh, yeah.
But then you see him in the things that he's done, where he's done mainly the voiceover and a bit of live action screen time for Doom Patrol.
Yes.
That DC live action
of course.
TV show. And he's solid in it. Like, the first scene is him boning a chick over the bench. You see his bare ass. And, like, when he's talking, he sounds and acts and looks like classic Brendan Fraser. He's obviously just put on a bit of weight, that's all.
No, absolutely.
But then you see him in interviews and he talks really quiet and softly. Like, when he needs to bring it, he fucking does.
Yeah, no, exactly. I heard him in an interview on the Scrubs podcast with Turk and JD, Zach Braff and Donald Faison. And he's so humble about everything as well. And especially with everything that he went through as well. You look at him, like, now and how he's basically having that resurgence that you spoke of, and he's still so humble about everything and that. And, like, talking about, I think he was in 3 episodes of Scrubs, something like that, you know? But
he played a cameo.
But he's in one of the most, like, hard-hitting, dramatic episodes of that show.
Yeah, okay.
That really fucking hammers home, like, and almost makes you cry kind of thing.
Wow.
And he's a big member of the folklore of Scrubs and that, but he was like, no, that wasn't me, that was you guys, you know, blah, blah, blah. But
it's like, dude, no,
it was all you, like, you know, So, he's one of the, I feel, nice guys of Hollywood, and he's had that, like, you know, major part of his career and then a bit of a downfall, but not his own fault, and now he's back, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, people also talked recently about the Mummy reboot. You know, we've obviously had the failed Tom Cruise Mummy reboot. You know, obviously, like, I know Tom Cruise was a big hitter at the time, and if that film did well, then that would have launched the Dark Universe, which it definitely did not.
Yeah.
But people were kind of clamoring for Brendan Fraser to come back as the same character. And even though, yes, he does look different, he's much older, he's had a very different life since then, I think it would have rolled in the money because of him.
No, exactly. And
people
especially
gone
now,
back for him.
Now that people know what the shit he's gone through, and now that he's back in the limelight of a degree, like, to a degree, I can't see why that would ever fail.
No.
Not a chance. And I feel like someone like Netflix should actually give it a chance.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Netflix could possibly do it. And we do have a bit of news in the news notes this week about Netflix with their revivals and how good, like, certain franchises can really possibly be if they're done right.
Yeah.
You know, like, we've had cinematic releases of things. We've had, like, you know, franchises come and go, and, like, it's big studios try these big universe carbon copy Marvel things, and they fall flat, and some of them don't work. But then Netflix grabs hold of it, and they do, like, a spin-off.
Yes,
and as prime example, Star Wars, the most recent actual Star Wars continuation. You know, say what you want about them, whatever. Yeah. But then The Mandalorian comes out and just fucking crushes it.
Exactly.
Everybody unanimously likes it. And the same thing with WandaVision. It's somehow like everybody unanimously likes it. You know, but, like, they could just keep going with cinematic releases. And prime example and perfect segue into one of the news topics this week that I do want to talk about. Terminator. Yeah. The last Terminator film that came out, Dark Fate, and anybody who's watched it, we all know the same complaints. It fucking sucked. Yeah. There's some enjoyable moments, and if it wasn't carbon copying the last 3 fucking Terminator movies, it would have been fine. But we do have an anime revival.
An anime of Terminator. And honestly, okay, so I'm not going to be clamoring for this. I mean, like, I am. Exactly. But I feel like this is basically all they can do now without fucking it up more.
Well, the good thing about this, Matt Tomlinson co-wrote The Batman with director Matt Reeves is cooking up the concept.
That's lovely.
And the good thing about this, it's not going to be a continuation, a prequel, a sequel. Who knows where it sits within the universe? It doesn't fucking matter at this point because of the whole timeline loopy bullshit that they've dug into the ground anyway. They can just tell their standalone story. The fact that it's coming to Netflix and it's a smaller scale and it's an anime.
Exactly.
I'm super jazzed. I reckon they're really going to do the fucking franchise some justice. And I think that's fucking fantastic. They could do the same with The Mummy.
No. Yes, I would be on board for that one, but with the way that they're doing it, that it's coming to Netflix and it's going to be an anime, I feel like there's less chance for them to fuck it up.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All signs for this point towards something that could actually work and won't get berated for episodes on end from us in the podcast, just ripping it to shreds like we did with, I can't even remember what that one was called.
Dark Fate.
And
you haven't even seen it. It's just you going, yeah, probably.
Wait, Dark Fate?
Did you see it?
Wait, the one that we reviewed for, like, DTC.
I thought you didn't. I didn't think you watched it. Did you?
We had a review about it. It was awful.
Oh,
that's the one where what's her name? The chick,
Mackenzie Davis.
No.
Linda Hamilton.
Yes, she came back and she was like, "I'll be back," and it's like, "Oh, shut the fuck up."
Oh yes, sorry.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger like was a curtain man. He did like drapes and shit. Yeah, exactly. Go and check out YouTube. Find that review.
It's the kind of movie and the franchise that I didn't expect you to actually go through. I thought that was like a solo review or something.
No, that was back when we both committed every single week to the exact same movie and we had arguments about what we were going to see, and we were both kind of keen for it, but we both fucking regretted it. Well,
we both knew what it was going to be.
Exactly, that's right.
And it was exactly what it was.
Absolutely, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, there is a little bit of news here that you had, and it's one of your favourite things to talk about that you've already touched on in this podcast, but I wanted to hear you brag a little bit about this.
I will brag a little bit about this, and this was news that wasn't exactly supposed to be open to the public, but a former employee of the company in software came out onto his Twitter.
Okay.
And after looking at, not his Twitter, his LinkedIn page, which I then had a bit of a lurk to see exactly what his position was at the company, and he was like a revenue manager or some shit. So it was his job to make sure that this thing succeeded.
Exactly. And
the news has come out that, and it's not so much about the game itself, it's about the concept of the idea.
Yep.
Doom Eternal has announced that in the first 9 months after its release, it's made over $450 million in revenue.
If I could whistle, I would whistle right now. There you go. Yep, exactly.
And the thing that's cool about this that everybody seems to be agreeing in is relating to the comments from one of EA Games CEO's past comments saying that single-player games are dead.
Exactly, I remember that.
This is a game that has literally no microtransactions. It does have a completely solid single-player campaign.
Yep.
And, people love it or hate it, multiplayer. But there is skins, there's events, there's things you can work towards, there's all of that.
No,
but there is absolutely zero microtransactions, and it's crushing it.
And that's insane. So basically what you're saying is all of that revenue would come from just purchasing the game, essentially?
Yeah.
Wow. And all the special editions and shit like that?
There's only been one special edition release so far, and that was that was an extra, it wasn't just like a, hey, buy this thing, play one level. It was 3 extended levels. So it was almost like they released another half of the main campaign length.
Right. Yeah.
So it was chock full and it was cheap as chips.
Director's cut, extended edition, that kind of thing.
Well, it was an entirely new, completely separate campaign you could essentially play through, and it took forever and it was twice as hard. But it just goes to show that single-player campaign games, focusing on those things, are alive and well. And when they're built well and directed well and, implemented well, they absolutely do succeed, and this is the story about that. So you've got other game companies that release these games on end, and have microtransaction implementations in those games, and people fucking complain about them. This just goes to show that you don't necessarily have to do that. As long as you have a solid fucking game to begin with, you'll fucking succeed. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's nice to see a game like this succeed in that and basically just rub it in that dude's face, let him know that no, there's still a market. Well, that's the thing. EA has had a really bad rap over the last number of years about focusing mainly on microtransactions, in all of their sport games. Yes, of course. In all of their Star Wars games, pretty much. And then they have 2 successes out of that, which are solely single-player focused, which a few multiplayer elements. You've got Titanfall 2, and Star Wars The Last Jedi, or the Jedi Order, or whatever it was called. It was a single-player campaign about Cameron Monaghan. He was the main character in that. And he played like a Jedi or whatever. But they were massively successful. So it's kind of like rubbing it in your own face, you idiot. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. No, I do like that. Now, you mentioned Neill Blomkamp before about the unfortunate Terminator film. No, he wasn't a part of that. Oh, you mentioned his name. Nope. Strange. Anyway, I must have had him on the brain, and for good reason, because District 9, of course, that South African film. Yes, that was beautiful, and came out when I worked at a video store. Did you work at a video store? I believe I did. I should tell you about that sometime. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, District 9, it's a fantastic South African film directed by Neill Blomkamp, who's gone on to do bigger and better things, of course. Sort of. To a degree, exactly. Great things, but not bigger, I wouldn't think. Yeah, exactly, that's right. But anyway, he is now currently writing District 10, which is exciting. The weird thing about this is that was initially announced back in like 2010 after District 9 finished.
Yeah.
Because District 9 initially was supposed to be a Halo movie.
Oh, right.
And then it turned into District 9, it turned into his own thing.
Yeah.
And then Neill Blomkamp was supposed to do this project and that project, and RoboCop he was supposed to do. Maybe that's what you were thinking of.
Yes.
And then he left, and Abe Forsyth kept in. I haven't got any more news about that.
Yeah.
But Neill Blomkamp has finally come out and said recently that he is working on District 10. And you know what?
Yes.
I call bullshit.
Really?
I mean, it's probably true.
Yeah.
But, like, he's said this before, like, 5 or 6 times.
So you don't think
in
it's
the
something
last
that's
decade.
actually... Yeah, so you don't think it's something that's going to actually happen?
I think maybe now's enough time where he's finally trying to get back into the big Hollywood landscape. Because he did that, and then he did Elysium.
Yep.
What else has he done?
He also did...
He's done his Oates studio things, which are magnificent, by the way.
Chappie. Yeah.
Chappie's a movie. It's fucking annoying, but it's a movie. That's the one.
That was the last actual feature film that he's done. Everything else has been short films.
That would. Are you familiar with Chappie?
Is that the Hugh Jackman one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he plays the villain, but it's also got what's that fucking stupid rap group as like the main characters?
That's right. I can't even.
I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. What are they called?
Is Antwood in their name?
Antwood.
Yeah.
The fact that he made that movie work with those actors is beyond me. Like a testament to his creative.
Did it work there? Did it work?
You watch the movie and go, how the fuck did you rein these people in to do what they needed to do on screen? But anyway, Neill Blomkamp he's come out 100 times before and said that it's on the way.
Well,
I'm hoping that it's mostly here, or it actually is happening now.
It is very odd that he hasn't actually had a feature film in such a long time, because he did a hell of a lot of short films before District 9. Then it was District 9, Elysium, and then Chappie, back to back to back. Yeah. And then ever since then, short films.
Yeah.
Like, so...
But that's the thing. He's announced that he's working on horrors. They have just kind of left. He was working on RoboCop.
Well, there is...
And then that left. And then he was working on something else. All of those short films, those Oat Studios, they honestly are strong enough to be stretched out to their own feature-length films.
Yeah. Well, there is Demonic, which is coming out November this year.
That was the horror that we talked about in the news a number of months ago.
Yes, but that's in post-production, so that one definitely is coming.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm hoping that definitely has his input and flair all over it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Do we want to do a few dad jokes?
Oh, we can rip into a dad joke.
Yeah, we'll rip into a dad joke. Yeah, well, there you go. He's cut.
Little sinker dad.
I recently swapped my bed for a trampoline. My wife hit the roof.
That's pretty good.
Not bad, is it?
Not bad, yeah. All right, okay. What's the best way to quit being vegan? Cold turkey. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You've got a little bit of news in here about Zack Snyder.
Well, it's not so much news, but it's just fascinating.
Yeah, no.
Have you read these articles?
No, well, I briefly skimmed over them, but it is curious to me that we've mentioned before about Zack Snyder and how much of a passion project the Justice League Zack Snyder cut is exactly, and this is just more evidence of it.
Yeah. We've had a lot of articles come out, and this isn't so much news, it's more just fascinating to me and how much of a baller Zack Snyder is. Say what you want about his previous films, the successes of those films. You know, he's obviously done magnificent films in the past. You've got 300, Dawn of the Dead, and many others to name. But then most notably, recently, he's had like his influence over the Man of Steel film, and then Batman vs Superman, which had its own problems, meddled in with the studio.
Of course.
Which fucked that movie up, although there are a few dumb moments. And then Justice League, where he had to leave after most of it was filmed because of a family tragedy. Of course. The story is that I've dug up recently is that they didn't necessarily expect Joss Whedon to come in and change so much. He was essentially hired to finish it, but he essentially changed a lot of it. And it turns out Christopher Nolan, the producer of this film and also the previous writer and director of the Batman trilogy
of course.
and Interstellar and all those, and Zack Snyder's wife, the producer of these films, they went to see the theatrical version of Justice League, and they came home and they both told him, this is Christopher Nolan, mind you.
Christopher fucking Nolan, Inception.
Christopher Nolan told Zack Snyder, don't watch this movie. And he hasn't.
Good.
Yeah. Fucking A.
No, exactly. Could you imagine putting your all into a project and then that fucking happens? What happens to him? And just the thought of that almost just like it's so depressing. And then somebody else comes in to respectfully finish the film and then just goes, nah, fuck it. We'll make my film and just completely
butchers the fuck out of it. But then Zack Snyder's turned around and said, Like his wife and Chris Nolan have said, like, this film will genuinely upset you. This is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And it was. It absolutely is.
And see, coming from Christopher Nolan, you understand the director's mind and stuff like that. And he would say, this would upset you because it's not what you had in mind. And it's all over the place. But his wife, you know, she's not into the directing and stuff like that, but has obviously been around enough to say,
she's a producer,
Yeah, but to be like, no. Don't see it, okay? Like, Chris is right. Like, Chris is right.
That's right. But the interesting thing about all this, before we get into actual other Superman news as well, is that he has remained a baller throughout this entire time. I have a feeling that he might be pushing so hard to get this film made for his daughter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think it's so much for the fans, but for his daughter, who you know, tragically committed, I believe it was.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, I'm just saying, like, the fact that he's doing this, I think the fact that he's got the chance to do this, to finish what he started, to release his vision, is probably personally for his daughter.
It's probably like one of those things that in the back of his mind, he feels like he has to finish it because it was abruptly ended by that, you know? One of those things for closure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the great thing about this, too, is that he's not getting paid a fucking cent.
Exactly. And
if you didn't know this, he's not getting paid any money for his version of the Justice League. I'll explain that more in a moment.
Yeah. Oh, no. I was just going to say, like, as in that's just more evidence that he needs to do this for himself.
Yeah.
And it is definitely a project that he has all that passion and energy for.
Yeah.
So all the more to you, man.
Absolutely.
Absolute baller, like you said.
Now, coming back to the reasons why, he understands that it's costing the studio, Warner Brothers, a hell of a lot more money to get all these actors back in. So first of all, he doesn't want to take that money away from that. But the other thing is, the reason that he's not getting paid specifically is not just to save Warner Brothers money, but if he's being paid, he has to take ideas from Warner Brothers executives.
Yeah.
By not being paid, he reigns complete control over the project. How baller is that?
Oh, yeah.
You can get into the film industry and make movies for a profit of yourself, or you could go into the film industry and make movies to be a passionate creator of film.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what's happening. Obviously, he's gone across and done Army of the Dead in the meantime.
Yeah.
Which is going to make bank. It's going to make bank.
And he would have made bank himself. Like, he would have signed a lovely Netflix contract, and he's fine, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. For a pretty, for a dumb zombie film, he could have thrown together in a matter of weeks.
100%.
But yeah, to not get paid for any of this, so that way he retains complete creative control. It makes me even more jazzed about this 4-hour length fucking thing. Yeah. We're going to have so much in it, and I'm keen as fuck.
See, you know that I have no interest in this, but at the same time, I almost want to watch it just out of respect.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
The creative process, for sure.
Yeah. So was there any other news that you wanted to touch on before we wrap a lovely bow on this bad boy?
Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man film has a title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they teased it on a Twitter video, and it's called Spider-Man No Way Home.
Something to do with property again? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's kind of an expected title.
Yeah, some people are, speculating, and the way that they revealed the title was like they're walking out of a room, and then on a whiteboard behind them is the title, but all other possible titles there could have been.
Yeah.
And people are trying to pick it to pieces. What could it mean? Like, just hold your fucking horses and watch the movie, would you?
Just let him tell the story.
Just let him tell the story.
Tell the story.
Yeah, like
exactly. Especially with this, with the Spider-Man verse that we've seen.
Yeah,
especially the last one. It's kind of like, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's another bit of news for anybody who's interested. But the one last bit of news that I did want to talk about very quickly.
Yeah.
Going back to the DC universe for a quick hot minute.
Okay.
There was a bit of news about the Batman that I saw earlier, but it's not news, and it was I actually unsubscribed from a YouTube video a YouTube channel that I've been watching for many years because the video that they put up was complete and utter garbage.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah.
The video is, Zoe Kravitz has been knocked up and is pregnant by Robert Pattinson, and they boned on the back of the Batmobile after they wrapped production. I was like, this isn't news. Like, so fucking what if they did that? He's a baller. Who cares?
No, they're two attractive adults who make bank and stuff and just finish one of the best movies that we're going to see next year, 100%.
Yeah.
But whether it happened or it didn't, shut the fuck up.
I was almost going to be one of those guys who comments on it being like, what is this, TMZ Woman's Weekly? And I was like, you know what? Unsubscribe. I'm done with this.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the best thing that you could do. Yeah, no, absolutely. But also, I mean, that would just add to Robert Pattinson being a badass because his father-in-law would be Lenny Kravitz. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the actual bit of DC news is, Superman's apparently getting a reboot.
Yep.
By J.J. Abrams.
Okay. Big baller? No? No, you're not keen?
He rebooted Star Wars.
Yes.
He also rebooted Star Trek.
Yes.
Those movies are fine.
Yeah.
10 Cloverfield Lane? Cloverfield. Cloverfield Paradox. He's the kind of guy who comes in and he's almost like Zack Snyder in the way that he can visualize a story really well. His movies look fantastic.
Yeah.
Story-wise, though, you could argue whether there's a lot of originality or not.
This is one that doesn't really need to be touched right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would feel the same if Joss Whedon said, yeah, I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no. Yeah,
I mean, J.J. Abrams isn't an asshole like Joss Whedon.
No, but still, isn't necessary. It seems like JJ might be a little bit lost for ideas.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, come out with
That's
something.
a deep cut.
Come out with something new. But that's pretty much the last little bit of news. But we've got no more comments in chat by the looks of it. But while we do have 5 minutes, what have you watched?
I watched a film called The Call. Now, this one is even hard to find on IMDb, but it came out 2020. The Call, and it is with Lin Shaye and Tobin Bell from Saw. So you got Jigsaw and you got Lin Shaye from Insidious. Yep, of course. And that's enough to draw me in, okay?
Two horror icons?
You would think now? Modern icons. 100%,
yeah.
100%, absolutely. And the film itself is actually pretty decent. It's about a group of teenagers who go to terrorize this lady because she supposedly murdered one of their little sisters at the daycare she used to run.
Oh, Jesus.
And they've been going to terrorize her for years and years and years. There's a nice little twist regarding the death later on in the film, but basically she kills herself. Lin Shaye. Right. And Tobin Bell invites them back the next year. And, after her death, to say, you're in her will for $100,000 if you'd like. All you have to do is go upstairs and make a phone call. And they're like, what? That's stupid. We don't want her money, blah, blah, blah. And all this. Anyway, they do, but more or less, he connected the phone to her coffin. And they have to spend 1 minute on the phone to get $100,000. And what it does is...
Holy shit.
It transports them to essentially an alternate reality or the underworld, essentially. And she terrorizes them with their worst nightmares.
Oh, I'm so down for this fucking movie.
Yeah, but then the ending.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. No. It's okay. It's okay. Like, as in, the film's okay, and it's genuinely got some terrifying moments. And then at the end, it's just like, wait, what? Like, and it just stops, and you're like, what?
So it didn't leave a good cliffhanger?
No. There was a couple little nice little twists along the way and stuff, but there was some very predictable stuff throughout the journey, and then the ending, I was just like, no. And I paid $5 for this.
So this is on Netflix?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It looks like a Netflix production, isn't it?
No, I think it's just with the red font is tripping you up. But
no, it says Netflix on the IMDb poster. Is that it?
No, because you're on the Chinese The Call that also came out last year.
Oh, so this isn't it? I thought you were talking about like a Chinese production.
No, The Call here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got Tobin Bell and Lin Shaye as the lead actresses and actor.
Send that to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so I paid $5 and I was enjoying the ride, but then all of a sudden it just kind of took a few turns and then you're like, wait, what? And it literally ended out of nowhere. So, a bit disappointed at the end.
Well, The Call, the Japanese version, two people live in different times. So Young lives in the present and Young Suk lives in the past. One phone call connects the two and their lives are changed irrevocably.
Hi, Jesse.
That also sounds good. So I'm kind of keen on that too.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Hey, fellas. Hey, Josie. Welcome aboard.
That one is on Netflix. Is that what you said?
It is, yeah.
Cool.
So I'm kind of like, you know what? I'll watch that one as well.
No, I know. That one honestly sounds more appealing than this one now that I've seen it.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. But in saying that, when you tell me about things that you thought were terrible, it instantly makes me think like, why am I drawn to
because you don't value my
thing?
opinion that much. You're like, I think he's wrong.
I think it's more like the idea of like... I wouldn't say that I don't value your opinion. I would think it's like, no, I want to experience this for myself. And I don't know.
No, I get it. But no, seriously, like, as in the first 80% of the call was okay, but then the ending just was like, what?
Okay.
Very, very confusing.
Right, okay.
All right.
What have I
Yourself?
watched? Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I've watched a few things, but nothing overly as much to talk about, essentially. But the one thing that we've been waiting for a very long time, which we never thought we'd actually get, but now we've got it on Disney Plus Star, is the latest Justin Roiland and Mike McMahon animation from Hulu, Solar Opposites.
Solar Opposites. Now,
Solar Opposites is essentially the story of an alien family living on Earth. The dad character hates them, and there's two kids, and they're kidnapping humans and putting them in like their own little tunnel system in their house. And as we talked about before the episode, there's only one way to describe Solar Opposites. You like Rick and Morty?
Bang.
You'll
Done.
like Solar Opposites. It's exactly the same. It is exactly the same.
Yeah, considering Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland.
Yeah.
The animation is the same.
Mm-hmm.
The voice acting, where they're kind of stuttering and tripping over their words deliberately, you know, it's that. It's that kind of animation style, and I enjoyed it. You know, it's got that gratuitous violence that comes out of nowhere and isn't quite necessary most of the times, but there's some crazy moments to it. Not all of the episodes are on Disney Star just yet. They are releasing them week to week. So I'm yet to catch up on all of the episodes. But Solar Opposites is quite good. So if you like Rick and Morty, you'll like this. If you don't like Rick and Morty, don't even bother. Yeah,
no, it's definitely one that I'm probably going to check out because you know that I love Rick and Morty, so that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Taser, if you want that, you're going to have to run it into us.
Yeah,
okay, because we're about to wrap this bad boy up, and you're running out of time, so we need some service.
That's right. But there is one that we can do there if you.
There we go. Thank you for redeeming the channel points, of course. And if you're sitting there watching and you haven't followed, make sure to follow.
That's right. How do you cut an ocean in half?
You wave at it?
That's not bad.
Thanks.
A seesaw.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. I couldn't believe my dad was stealing from his road construction job. But when I got home, all the signs were there.
I've heard that one before. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think that'll just about wrap her up.
Yeah, well, we're waiting for Taser in chat to bring us a spoonful.
You got about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
we're speak of the devil. There we go.
Okay, we've got the Vegemite and 2 gigantic spoons.
Lovely. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Love the service around here.
Yeah, for sure. So those listening to this podcast and watching on YouTube later on, if you head over to twitch.tv/2C3pod live, where you can join us every single week, we do have channel points to redeem, and one of them is a spoonful of Vegemite. Which
is that acceptable?
That's acceptable. And we're going to be struggling to the end this episode. So
wait, do you want to just rip into the socials and then we'll get this ball rolling?
Yes, absolutely. Right. You can certainly find us Cheers. You can certainly find us over on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at 2C3pod. Just give us a search there and you can find us and all of that jazz, and contact us as well.
Absolutely. And make sure that you're listening on your favorite podcast platform. We're available on all of them, of course. Apple Podcasts being the number one. 5 stars would be great. Write whatever you want. Write, don't eat Vegemite on air again. But, of course, cliche slogan, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and, of course, YouTube. Big Simple Blowout.
Eating Vegemite makes that incredibly difficult. Anyway.
Well, it's not bad. It's been a while.
Yeah, you can support the show by heading over to tpublic.com, redbubble.com, and of course Teespring as well if you do want to get yourself a little bit of 2C3pod merch.
Oh yes, we love it, don't we?
Absolutely. You can get yourself a fridge magnet, a t-shirt,
a frig magnet,
as I used to say. Yes, kitchen appliances, the whole works. You can get it all there.
Absolutely.
But also, if you do want to actually support us legitimately,
do you?
Head over to patreon.com.
That's right, Patreon, where you get all the exclusive benefits, of course. You get automatic entry into all giveaways, but most importantly, there's 2 things that you get that nobody else gets. You get exclusive content that you get to choose what we talk about. That's the key right there. But not only that, you get yourself a fucking shout out.
That's
You're
right.
a fucking legend. All right, and we have those heroes. Alice, thank you very much. Elle, thank you very much. And our bloody legends, Courtney Harris, 1001, Mother Duck, Dr. Blade, and Beth, thank you very much for your continued support. We appreciate you greatly. But if you don't want to do that and lock into a monthly thing, you can always choose company3podcast@gmail.com for PayPal. One-time donations. That'd be appreciated.
Yeah,
10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, $1 million.
We'll take it. That's right.
Absolutely.
Anyway. And if you want to experience us as well, if you're new to this show, new podcast episodes every week, every Thursday morning.
Yeah, get off the Coke, no sugar. Pepsi Max.
Yeah, fucking right. Pepsi Max is the superior soft drink.
It's your fridge. You're providing it.
You can have that argument with my wife.
Right,
anyway,
okay, yeah.
Yes, anyway. Every Thursday morning, 2 a.m. is when these podcast episodes are released on all of those platforms, but certainly join us live. But favorite podcast platforms every week, topic discussions, questions that we talk about, live interaction with you, the TCT pack, the 2C3 pack, whatever you want to call it.
All
news, what we've watched at home, reviews, dad jokes, and so much more.
Absolutely. And don't forget, there is original content every single week, including DTC Trailer Park and much more on YouTube. Big Summer Blowout.
Yeah.
Make sure to head on over there, 2C3pod, follow a link or just write 2C3pod, subscribe, like all the videos, do all that jazz. We love it. We love you.
That's right. Excellent. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us this evening. We greatly appreciate that. Hit those follow buttons wherever you may be if you haven't already, and hit us up on the socials. Definitely get in contact with us. My name is Dylan, and as always, with my co-host
Mitchell. And do not forget, we are Two's Company,
and you are the podcast.
Bye.